Hey everybody, today we're here to talk about the real story, not the distraction. The story about the $4,250 per month no bid contract the mayor just handed Councilman Eric Bingham's wife to provide public information services in support of the city's efforts to keep residents informed, engaged, and connected to the government. All right, but first let's talk about the distraction the mayor created to pull it off. What if your boss, Max, came in tomorrow and said, I know everybody got a raise but you, sales are up, we have a balanced budget and the future looks bright, but we need a year's worth of your benefit pay to give to your buddy's wife to run our propaganda program. I know we've been doing it this way for over 40 years, but now it doesn't make sense. Insurance costs more, and we're not here to enrich ourselves, right? Doesn't make sense now. You don't make sense, Max. That's a 20% pay cut. 20%. Why? Insurance costs more now, so you should take our money away? That's what it was originally for, insurance. Because that's what it cost 40 years ago, $3,000 a year. What's your degree in anyway, Max? Please explain that logic. So what do you guys say? No problem, boss. Everybody gets a raise, but I'll take a cut for the city. And then we can give it to your buddy's wife. Yep, it's crazy, folks. But there's going to be 2 more meetings on this, so we'll see. Now, the real story. The story about the fat, no bid contract that was just handed to the councilman's wife for something that we don't need or have ever had, that is, a propaganda specialist. So a couple of weeks ago, the mayor and Councilman Eric Bingham took a little road trip to Idaho to see the dog and pony show put on by proponents for nuclear energy. They got so excited, they hatched this plan to make Eric's wife, Elizabeth Bingham, the head of the propaganda program to promote spent nuclear fuel storage in Wyoming. You know, going after the newest shiny object. So first, the mayor created a distraction with this Malonus questions ordinance thing. Then he slipped this big fat contract to Liz Bingham. He's slick, I'll tell you. So do you want $4,250 per month of your tax money going to promote biased information about the city? You know, like NPR or PBS, right? Is this service even necessary? Can't we just look online at the Rocket Miner or Sweetwater Now or the city website for this information? So this is another one of those professional services, so the mayor didn't have to bid it out. You know, is there anybody out there or anybody you know that would like to have had the opportunity to even bid on this job? You know, $4,250 is quite a bit of money. You know, I would say that is enrichment. So what is that, folks? Is that nepotism, conflict of interest, corruption, nothing, just business as usual? Or is that just Ricky acting out of his authority? So anyhow, you know, Eric is a great guy. I really like him, I do. But check this out. You know, he lost his election to Randy Hansen 3 years ago. He was appointed by the council when Brent Batolo left this year. Therefore, he is an unelected official, just like Councilman David Thompson. Both are unelected. Remember that. I fought very hard for my spot, and I am elected by the people, not appointed by the council. There's a big difference. And Councilman David Thompson's wife is April Thompson, head of Housing Authority, and his daughter is Danielle Rushing in the Sewer Water Department. Just in case you were wondering. See what I'm up against? Also, Eric Bingham is the head of the Land Use Department for Sweetwater County. So when it comes to we the people versus the government, which way you think he's going to roll? Also, Liz's sister is married to Mark Cohen, the county treasurer. Therefore, Eric's brother-in-law is also the county treasurer. Wow. See how it's all tied together, folks? All right. Go find Liz Bingham's post comments on Facebook. Just ask around. See what kind of a lady she is and the quality of work she does. Seriously. See what she had to say about our outstanding, solid, local boy, Representative Darren Smith, a few months back. Yeah, go check that out on Facebook. Also, how do you think Eric is going to vote from now on after the mayor handed his wife a big fat $25,000 contract? Oh my God, he's bought and paid for forever. That's why we don't do this stuff, people. It's very bad and it may even be illegal. Whew. So now our benefit pay for a year will go to Eric Bingham and his wife, $25,500. That feels really good. You know what? If this job is so important, what are we going to do after 6 months? We going to re-up, or are we done with the indoctrination? And if we don't need it, then why do we need it now? We don't. Just more corrupt and wasteful spending. $25,000 out the window. Add that to them goats in the creek. That's 75 grand. Spends money like a drunken sailor. Such BS. Cut our wages to save money, then waste it someplace else. That's cuckoo. And it's amazing to me that my buddies like No Balls Batolo and his brother-in-law talk smack about me defending this insanity, but they know I'm right. Oh, yeah, they do. They're just jealous. So just keep bringing it, boys, because the crowd loves it. I do too. There's a great article in the Rocket Miner Facebook page about this. Trina does a really good job covering all this nonsense. So Trina, thank you very much for your accurate journalism. This is why Rock Springs has such a bad reputation the mayor keeps talking about. We got great people, just terrible leaders. This is corruption at its finest, right in your face, right in our face. And you know what? Why am I the only counselor saying anything? Why am I the only counselor asking questions? Bad Ricky. He's a troublemaker. I have a personal agenda. Seriously, folks, I'm just trying to make Rock Springs a better place to live. You know what? It's worse than I thought. Taxes, land use, nuclear waste. The good old boy runs deep here, folks. This whole state, really. They're tough to beat, but we can do it. We just need your help. Contact the mayor and council members and tell them what you think about this crap. Plus elections are in a year. We need good people to turn this ship around. Youth, new blood, patriots. You know what? If we don't take a stand, it won't be long and we'll just be another Colorado, California, or Oregon. We got to fight to keep Wyoming, Wyoming, right? Okay, stay tuned. Believe me, I have lots more. United we stand. Thanks for listening. Take care. Good luck. And may God bless. Please consider sharing.